Hi, this is Joel for talkseries.nl, this new television website, which is primarily a Dutch website, but we are covering several popular TV shows on our website. And one of the major series we are following is Game of Thrones, the fantastic and spectacular Game of Thrones. And for Game of Thrones, we're also going to be doing vidcaps in English, so for our international followers. And right now, yeah, I'm going to do a short recap of season one, the debut season of Game of Thrones. And yeah, from April 1st on, we're going to do a vidcap of every episode and have some other special stuff in store for you. Um, but first things first, let's talk about season one. Well, it was, in one word, fantastic. I mean, when I first heard that HBO yeah, bought the rights to make a TV show on the fantastic Song of Ice and Fire, I was yeah, really excited because if there's one network that could pull it off, then it was HBO. I'm a big fan of a lot of HBO shows like Sopranos, Six Feet Under, Band of Brothers, you name it. But of course, I had a little bit doubt maybe as to how well it would translate onto the small screen. I mean, there's a lot of fantastical elements. Now, maybe not a lot. It's a little bit more in the background, but still, it could have gone worse. But after the premiere of Winter is Coming, I was totally on board with it. But everything HBO was doing, it was in one word, fantastic. So yeah, credits to HBO and Wise and Benioff, of course, for doing a terrific job. Nina Gold for the casting. I mean, it's just a home run. You see, to all the awards they have been winning and being nominated and such. It's nothing short of spectacular. So yes, I'm very much a fan of Game of Thrones and really look forward to season two. But like I said, we need to start with season one. Since I've launched the talk series in this January, we're well on our way to season two right now. But I still wanted to say a few things about season one. So what I thought was, well, one of the major and most interesting sites for information on Game of Thrones is, of course, the website winteriscoming.net and winteriscoming.com. And they have done the Wignet Season 1 awards. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to look at their categories and I'm going to say which one of those won for me. So that's in that way you can see how I appreciated Season 1. Let's start with the first one, which is Best Fight Scene. Well, for me that really was the fight Ned versus Jamie. And why is that? Well, of course, in Game of Thrones, Ned is being portrayed as being a much more dangerous warrior than he is in the books. Um, but Sean Bean kind of pulls that off, you know, like he's really solemn and reluctant and honorable about a lot of things, but he does know when to stand his ground. And when he is challenged by Jamie, it's a terrific scene because Jamie has been coaxing Ned from the moment that he arrived in King's Landing. Um, so a lot of things came together during that fight scene. So I thought it was the choreography was great, and I thought this was a terrific scene. So yeah, for me, definitely Ned versus Jamie for best fight scene. The second is best dramatic scene. Um, yeah, that really is a no-brainer. I mean, Ned's execution. It's the first that a TV show kills off a major character in its first season. It's just never done before. Um, Everybody on the internet was talking about Game of Thrones. I think that Google said, or something was like the searches of Google for Game of Thrones after Baylor, the episode in which Ned got executed, was off the charts. Even HBO started issuing statements because people were getting scared, people were angry, people were vowing never to watch Game of Thrones again. And I think there was honest, concern if people were going to tune in for Fire and Blood, the 10th episode. So definitely best dramatic scene, next execution. Fantastically filmed as well by the great Alan Taylor, one of the best television directors ever. And of course, executive producer as well as major director for season 2. So next execution, wow, uh, fantastic. Um, Best comedic scene, which is that was a bit tough for me because there were a lot of funny moments in the first season, but there weren't many scenes that stood out to me. But one that I thought was very interesting and entertaining was Varys and Littlefinger's verbal sparring. I mean, the whole do you wake up at night fearing my gash and that sort of stuff. It was hilarious. So, and I love Aidan Gillen as well. So, yeah, definitely Littlefinger and Varys verbal sparring. And a lot of people been saying, of course, like, oh, they should get their own spin-off. But there are two couples actually that could get a spin-off, which of course are Varys and Littlefinger and Bran and Tyrion. But yeah, definitely the verbal sparring between the two guys was great. Um, Best edit scene. Um, Definitely Robert and Cersei discussing their marriage because, um, like I said, it's an added scene, so it wasn't in the books, but it reveals a lot about the two characters. I mean, the fact that Cersei actually one time did love Robert, which she also mentioned to Ned, of course, and yeah, the way they discuss about how things used to be between them, it's just heartbreaking. A very great scene. So, especially kudos to Benioff and Weiss for adding that. Yeah, it was a very great and powerful scene. Absolutely best added scene. Best monologue. Um, well, some of my choices are the same as Winter is Coming, but some are not. And this one. Well, it's for me Old Nan with her monologue about winter is for and blah blah blah, you know. Because I really love how she talks about everybody being a sweet summer child and that sort of stuff, which is also maybe nowadays with the current situation with the economic crisis, it's a little bit comparable for me because let's be honest, our grandparents, you know, went through World War One and World War Two and whatever, and before that, we had a lot of heartbreak. But we were, yeah, kind of born, people of my generation. I was born in '82. Um, Economic growth, infinite possibilities, you know. And now things aren't so certain world-wise and such. So in certain ways, I feel like a summer child myself, like that. But definitely a great monologue for the actress playing Old Nan, which who passed away, of course, the actress, which is a shame. But I think she portrayed Old Nan pretty well. Best one-liner. Um, well, I have to have one for Tyrion, of course. Peter Dinklage really plays him very, very well. So, what am I saying? Um, but it's of course the actor playing Bran. So my mistake. I'm sorry. But when you think of Bran, and you also automatically think of Tyrion. But his, you wouldn't know him. It was just hilarious. It was a great scene. Seeing him together in the same room with Tywin Lannister, it was good. So that was for me the best one-liner. Then the best line. Well, I'm a big Emilia Clarke fan, and maybe less so in the books, but on screen, I'm also a big Daenerys Targaryen fan. And I really love the scene when she says to Viserys, "Next time you lay a hand on me, it will be the last time you have hands." I was like, wow. I mean, it's really maybe a little bit of coming of age story for Daenerys, from becoming the frightened little girl, being emotionally abused by her brother, also a little bit physically abused, being sort of raped by Khal Drogo, and then yeah, standing up for herself. I really loved that scene. I really loved the lines. Definitely, the next time you lay a hand to me will be the last time you have hands. Best line. CGI. Well, I can be short about that. A lot of people on Winter is Coming voted for The Wall. I'm going to go with the Dragons because um, they chose to go with dogs for the diary rolls, which didn't work out that well. But they did went all out CGI wise with the dragons. It's one scene, of course, but it's a very dramatic scene, and yeah, they really pulled it off. So definitely, best CGI was the dragons. Best supporting actor. Being a fan of The Wire, um, I really was excited when they casted Aidan Gillen to play Littlefinger, and he pulls it off fantastically. So I have to give the best supporting actor a nod to him. He brings Littlefinger to life. He just brings everything that needs to the table. So definitely Aidan Gillen. Supporting actress. Um, Natalie Tina playing Osha. I think one of the reasons that they are going to change some things as to how it goes in the books, probably because you can't have a great actress like Natalie Tina out for 2-3 seasons, because the book readers know that she reappears after being absent for a couple of books. Um, or actually hasn't reappeared yet, actually. So you can't have that. So, but I think her fantastic performance as Osha has prompted or will prompt the executive producers and showrunners to change that storyline a bit. But I loved how she played Osha. So she gets Best Supporting Actress from me. Um, Best Actor. Well, in the award seasons, you see that Peter Dinklage's performance is rated as supporting actor. Also with the Winter is Coming awards, and he's rated as a main character. That's why he doesn't get this from me, because I have to go for Sean Bean, because it's almost like he was born to play that part. I mean, how he plays Lord Eddard, it's great performance. The reluctance, the how solemn, being solemn, and all the worries he have, the love for his family, loyalty, honor. Again, really great performance by Sean Bean. I think he's overshadowed by Peter Dinklage, but Peter Dinklage is a close second. Don't get me wrong, but I have to give Sean Bean that one. I mean, because the internet erupted after Ned Stark died in Baylor, and it's also absolutely a lot of credit should go to Sean Bean, because people cared, because it's a great character, but also the performance of Sean Bean. So he gets the best actor, and not for me. Best actress will be Emilia Clarke. I'm a bit biased because I'm a big Emilia Clarke fan. I mean, it's sort of her debut. I think she only had stage experience and maybe minor television experience, or not even before Game of Thrones. But again, credits to Nina Gold, because it's a home run. I mean, um, okay, I admit I'm in love with Emilia Clarke, but no, really great performance. Um, Next up is best episode, and that's the final one, and that goes to, of course, Baylor. I'm forgetting, no, Baylor, that's right. It's a fantastic episode. I mean, I was a bit surprised that for the Writers Guild and I think Directors Guild, they sent in Fire and Blood as opposed to sending in Baylor. Why I'm surprised by that is because it's almost a rule that the penultimate episodes, which is well, the episode that comes before the season finale, is most of the times is rated as the best episode of a season. And to me as well, with Game of Thrones, Baylor was just a tiny bit better than Fire and Blood. But so I would have definitely sent in Baylor for all the awards, but I guess the showrunners thought differently. But for me, Baylor is a perfect episode. Winter's Coming is nearly perfect, but to me that is the best episode. Both directed, of course, both Baylor and Fire and Blood were directed by the great Alan Taylor. Um, his craftsmanship is just ridiculous. And yeah, it's fantastic. So that's the final award I'm giving out for season one. So yeah, like I said, I can keep on saying it again and again. It was a fantastic first season. Ended on a season high ratings wise, and in my experience, shows that uh, gradually increasing ratings are the best TV shows and tend to live on in people's minds for a long time, because most of the time we see that the ratings for a TV show are off the charts at the season premiere or series premiere, I should say, and then gradually ratings start to um, decrease a little bit, and which is of course understandable. But if you look at series like 24 or series like Sopranos, that sort of shows, um, and also True Blood, which is a good example, which is also a show of HBO. They started with relatively a small amount or less ratings, but then the rating kept increasing and increasing. True Blood has now is ridiculous in the ratings, but they started even lower than Game of Thrones did. And if you see now the records they are breaking on YouTube with the trailer, um, everybody online talking about Game of Thrones, a lot of other shows mentioning Game of Thrones, and the DVD which will be out on March 6th. The sales are going to be off the charts as well. I mean, that's going to happen. I mean, you don't have to be a wizard or whatever to acknowledge that. So I really think that there are going to be really good ratings for the season premiere of season two. So yeah, I'm really psyched about season two. What are the ratings going to be? It's a bigger story. We're going to get CGI diary walls. Everybody's excited about that. Um, no Sean Bean, of course, but there are tons of other interesting characters. Um, Great casting again by Nina Gold. I mean, our own Carice van Houten, of course, my compatriot, was going to play Melisandre, the priestess, but also the guy they casted for to play Stannis. The actor also played Thomas Jefferson in the fantastic miniseries John Adams. I mean, I can go on and on. I'm expecting a lot of season two, ratings-wise, quality-wise. I think that's going to be even better than season one. So season one is a fantastic first season. Second season is going to be even better, and yes, it is possible. So I'm really, really excited about that. So that's as far as it goes for me on season one, and a little bit expectations for season two. What can you expect soon on TalkSeries.nl is an interview with Pearson Moore. You Lost fans out there should know who he is. He's written a number of essays and novels even on Lost. He's a great guy to chat with. He also does essays, of course, but you can order on Amazon. He does a lot of essays on the Game of Thrones. He also does episode analysis on Westeros.org, and right now I've done a lengthy interview with him on the first season of Game of Thrones and his expectations for season two. It's going to be a good read. I expect to put it online in a couple of days, so keep your browser locked on talkseries.nl for the interview with Pearson Moore in English. Our reviews are in Dutch, but our vidcaps will be in English, so our international viewers, please keep your subscribe to our channel, because a lot of interesting stuff is coming online. We on Talk Series are going to the ThroneCon in Birmingham, hoping to interview Emilia Clarke, who also will be there. I think Peter Dinklage is going to be there, Macy Williams, who plays Arya, of course. It's going to be a blast. So a lot of interesting stuff coming online on talkseries.nl. So subscribe to our channel, visit our website often, and yeah, if you're a big Game of Thrones fans like me, you can't get enough information. So I should say, yeah, keep also going to Westeros.org, winteriscoming.com, winteriscoming.net. the Dutch people can go to winteriscoming.nl and yeah, keep talking about the series. If you're in the US, subscribe to HBO, because it's not about ratings for HBO, it's about subscriptions. And yeah, just be consider yourself lucky that that somebody was bold enough to try to get um, the novels to the small screen, and how it's great. So that's it for now, and hope to see you guys soon.